Hello and welcome back to another little video. This time we have a couple of polybags that came with the Lego Jurassic World magazines. So 2 magazines. I managed to get the old edition, issue 25, and then the current one, issue 26. So they obviously hadn't sold all of these ones, so I managed to get 2 at the same time. So yeah, but yeah, we've got the DNA sequencing machine with a little Microraptor, and then we have the older version of Dr. Alan Grant, even though I think he looks more like John Hammond. Well, apart from the fact that he doesn't have glasses, I suppose. Yeah, so it's Dr. Alan Grant, and he's got his tools, and then you've got like a little rock that can be opened to reveal a fossil. Yeah, they've both got 35 pieces, and they both look pretty cool for such tiny builds. So yeah, let's get into it. I've put all the pieces into one tray because there's only a few pieces. But yeah, as is more increasingly the trend, the instructions aren't in the magazines, unfortunately. So I had to look on YouTube. So I will put the name of the YouTube channel that shows me the instructions in the descriptions. So yes, right, so we start off with those 2 pieces. And then we've got these quarter circle. So they go all the way around. And then these little pieces, 2 of those, and they go one at an angle, 45 degrees in between one of the quarter circles, and then one straight on. So it looks like the time on a clock, almost. So put a little 2x1 there, and then we've got one of these little along the edge, and that goes on there. Really? How can I lose a 2? There it is. Silly me. It's staring me right in the face. So, and then like a little plinth. And then 2 little grabber bricks. One of them, and that goes on the top. And then that connects to the side there. And then got another one of them. Got a little cheese wedge 2x1, because it's white, that's Wensleydale. If it were a cheese. So that goes there. So we have the first of 2 printed pieces. We have a cute little keyboard. So that goes on there, I think, yeah. And then we have this shield piece with the grab on the back, That would usually be used by a minifig, but it's been repurposed. So that goes like that. And then we have the second printed piece, which is the digital computer screen. And that goes like that. So there we go. So that connects onto the side there with the grubber bits. And then we've got a third printed piece, which is the little amber block with the mosquito in it that they get the DNA out of. So that goes on the plinth, ready to be analysed. And then we've got the two little arms. So with these little, with a hole in there, and then the grabber point. So that goes on like that. So we've got some articulation. And then we've got the opposite end one. So that goes on there, I think. Yeah. And then another one of those. So that goes on there. Right. So we have two of those. So we do the same again. So we've got the two arms. So what do we do with those? We put one So how do we articulate this? So one goes like that, and one goes like that, and the same on the other side. I have to increase, put it full screen so I can see what's going on. So one goes on this side, and one goes on this side. And then we've got a little light. And we've got another one of those, so that goes on the back of the light. And then that connects onto that arm. So it sheds some light on the amber sample. There you go. Right, and then we've got the little tiny syringe. Oops. So we put that in like that. Okay. And then that goes on the end of the arm. There we go. See, look. So you've got the light, and then we've got the syringe to take the sample of the DNA. That's pretty cool for a tiny little build. And then obviously we've got the very cute little Microraptor. Very cool print. So then we move on to the other build, which is the fossil. So we type in the other number, which is 122334. Right. So there we go. He's got his magnifying glass and his pickaxe. And as you can see by the face print, it's the older version of Dr. Alan Grant with a new different coloured hat. So now we've got the little fossil. So we start off with a 6x2 and a 2x3 across the middle. Little 2x1 underneath. And some more 2x1s at the back. And then we got these little, so we've got something to grab onto them in a bit. And then we've got the 2x3s that go over the top. And instead of two 2x1 bricks, we've got like a double. So it's two on top, formed into one. So that goes in the middle there. And then we've got an angled end piece. And then a 3 brick taller end piece. And then a long cheese slope. So that forms a piece of rock. And then we've got these little one cheese slopes. And they go in there. And opposing angles. Right, missed a bit on the top, so we put that little 2x1 plate on there, and then another little G-slope on the top. So that forms the main piece of the rock. So then we've got half octagon, and turn it over, and we put the grabby points on, but 2x1 grabby points. So we put those on there. And then, so does that connect on? Yeah, so we connect that on that, like that. So it's like a flap you can open and reveal. Right, so now we've got the little fossil. So we've got a classic railing piece. And then we've got like a little mini G-slope, Wensleydale. So got two of those. Oop, bit fiddly. Right, there we go. Then take that and we put that in the end. And that goes and that goes in the middle. But that faces up. There it goes. So that's kind of like this, yeah, that's the skeleton. Right. And then so what pieces have we got left? So yeah, those are there. Right, so we've got these little arms that are usually on the, I don't know, they're usually like robot arms. But they go apparently on here like that, and they make, so they look like ribs on a rib cage. And then we've got that goes on there. And then we've got this weird little purpose-built piece. And that goes on there. So yeah, it's kind of like a, I don't know what dinosaur that would be. Stegosaurus? Yeah, Stegosaurus. That's a cute little representation of a dinosaur fossil, using the least amount of pieces possible. So that sits on there. Yeah, so there you go. That's the fossil. And it sits in the rock like that, waiting to be discovered. So you flip it down, it's like, ta-da! There's a fossil in the ground. Nice. That's pretty cool. So there we go. Two cute little mini builds. and a micro figure and a minifigure. Pretty cool. They were basically £5 each. That's one magazine, and that's the other magazine. So yeah, this is cute, the cutest, obviously. I'm hoping I can get some more of these in the future, different sized ones. That'll go nicely with my other Lego animals collection. I've got a spider horse, and I've got a spider cat from the CMF series from the Across the Spider-Verse. So now I've got 3 Lego animals. Let us know what you think in the comments, if they're value for money, and you know, whether you like them, whether you'd buy them or not. But yeah, very cool. So, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.